Here's everything that we've had to fix ourselves since living full-time in our brand new 2025 Brinkley 3610 RV. If you haven't already, like this video and subscribe to our channel if you want to follow along our journey of full-time RV living as a family of 3. Now let's go ahead and jump into everything that we've had to fix ourselves.
Issue number 1 that we had with our Brinkley 3610 is the factory installs a magnetic. So every time there was one on this side and then there's another on this side, and when the magnetic connection goes, when you close the door, it automatically shuts the light off under here. And we noticed that this light was staying on, and I tried everything to try to figure out why it wasn't turning off and put the magnetics back together. You can get another magnetic system if you want to, but I ended up just going with this manual switch here. It was very easy to install. It took me about maybe 3 minutes. It was very cheap, but now anytime the door shuts, the light cuts off like that, and it just seems like it's a lot more foolproof for the long-term duration of us having this RV. So that was the first thing that we had a problem with, is just this light was staying on with the initial magnetic system they gave us, so we just simply replaced that with our own. Very cheap, very fast, but now we don't have that issue anymore. The second issue that we had with our Brinkley is we slowly started noticing this cabinet right here. It started feeling a little loose, and when we took a deeper dive and started looking into it, we noticed that a screw was actually loose inside of here. And we went ahead and we tried to tighten it. That seemed to be a short-term fix, but every time we would get to our next location, we noticed that it had rattled loose. Simple fix, I took the screw completely out. And what I saw is that obviously it couldn't go anymore. It was stripped out.
It was the one on the right? That one? Or the one on the left?
This middle one.
Oh, the middle one. I see.
I went to Ace Hardware and I just found a screw that was a little bit thicker and a little bit longer. I didn't want to do anything that was crazy, or, if the problem ever happened again where it became stripped, I wanted to have the ability to essentially be able to fix it later. If you guys have a better fix or a better way to do it, please put it in the comments. We'd love to see it. But it has been doing a really good job of just staying in there, and I haven't had any other issues with it. So like I said, I just went to Ace Hardware and found a thicker and a little bit longer of a screw. Our third issue that we've had with our Brinkley so far is this door was doing the same thing as the other cabinet door that I just showed you. It got to the point where it was pretty much just hanging down and we weren't even using this door. And once again, I ended up taking the screw out, finding another screw at Ace Hardware that was a little thicker and a little bit longer, and it's worked really well, and we haven't had any issues since. I will say, these screws seem to be different sizes. Like, it wasn't like I was able to get just 2 of the same screw and it just worked, universally. It seems like these screws are different lengths and they are different thicknesses. So if you have any issues with any of your drawers, I would encourage you to make sure you take that screw out of that specific door or cabinet and go to Ace Hardware or Home Depot or wherever else you're going to go get a new screw, and just make sure that it's the right one, because they are different sizes. Like that one, the first one I showed you compared to this one, they were just a little longer and a little thicker. So but easy fix. We haven't had any issues since. All right, this is the fourth issue we've had with our Brinkley 3610. There's actually a little seat in here. There's a little knob or whatever you want to call it that sits inside of here that holds this in place. This little piece in here, this little knob that sticks inside of this, actually broke off. We were underway, we were traveling, and when we got to our next location, my wife noticed that this was broken, and I was able to find this little piece on Amazon. It was, I believe, like 25 or 30 bucks, something like that, and I just simply replaced it, and it was fixed, and we haven't had any issues with it since. So not sure if it was a manufacturer defect from Lippert or why it fell off like that, but it did. And we tried to initially glue it back. We tried to use almost any type of glue we could find, and it just would not stick together. So we ended up just replacing it all together, and we haven't had any issues with it since. All right, issue number 5, and this isn't really it really wasn't a big issue. It's probably something, if you're in any of the Brinkley groups, this is something that everybody seems to talk about, and it is condensation forming behind the mattress. Now, we started our journey on the west side of the country, actually in Utah and a little bit of Arizona, and we never noticed it. We were like, oh, they must have fixed it. we don't have this issue, and we were in drier climates, so we didn't notice it. But as we made our way east, and now we're in Florida currently, we have noticed that condensation does build behind the mattress exactly where people have been talking about having this issue. So there's a couple things that we did to try to combat this issue, and it seems like it's working really well. Number one is we put this under the mattress. So this is just liner, breathable liner that allows for air to, move underneath the mattress, so nothing's kind of like settling, or condensation isn't able to settle underneath the mattress. This goes all the way to the front of the mattress as well. And the other thing that we've done is we've put fans. So we have a fan up here. As you see, it gets in the back corner of the mattress and behind the mattress. And then we also have this fan here that we keep running. This is probably one of my favorite fans, honestly. It's really quiet. It's made by Drio, but we have this here, and sometimes we'll move it a little bit behind there. And then every day, when you wake up, you just move the mattress out a little bit. I would encourage, especially during the summer months, if you're staying anywhere that's humid, you just want to move the mattress out a little bit, have these fans running, and it'll help dry that up. And if you notice anything that's, I guess, an absorbent amount of moisture, you're probably going to need another solution. But currently, we haven't had any issues, and we're noticing that the moisture isn't there anymore. Issue number 6 that we've had with our Brinkley since owning it is this screen would not lock, because for whatever reason it wasn't going and securing or locking. The simple thing I did is I just put a piece of cardboard behind there, and now it is locking and securing. So I don't know why I did that, and I don't really know another fix for it besides putting something behind this to move it out. But now it locks and it works fine. I guess I could trim the cardboard if you don't like, a little piece of cardboard sticking out. But that's issue number 6. Issue number 7 that we had with our Brinkley is this right here. So this was leaking right here. It's not one of the main hydraulic lines, but this right here was leaking. And we noticed that in our first couple of trips, there would always be like a little pool of hydraulic fluid right here. And so eventually I just put a towel there, and there'd always be hydraulic fluid on it. And what it ended up being is this just needed to be tightened. Now, you don't want to over tighten this, but I did just tighten it up, and we haven't had the issue since. And the final issue that we've had with our Brinkley, it's really not an issue, but I just saw some of the people inside the Brinkley group talking about it, and that's trying to prevent pests and rodents from getting inside of your RV or underneath your RV or doing any kind of damage to the underside of your RV. And so there was a hole right here. There's one on the other side. There's actually 2 other holes on the other side, and simply what I did is I put rubber seal tape around this. I made sure not to touch this rod right here, since this does go in and out for the slide. And then I also, around the edges of this tape, I actually put rubber sealant. So this is rubber sealant all around this, making sure none got on this hole right here. But as you can see, I sealed up that hole. It almost looks factory in my opinion, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. This tape, there's tape all around here, and then there's rubber seal that I put around here as well, just to secure the tape a little bit better. And that's just to help prevent rodents from getting in there. And once again, make sure nothing gets on this pipe. If it does happen to get on this pipe, just make sure that you clean that. But other than that, those are the final issues that we've had. None of these issues took more than an hour to complete all the fixes for these issues. And hopefully this helps somebody if you're thinking about buying a 3610, or you're looking to try to be preventative in these things that possibly can happen with your 3610. Hopefully this will help you kind of be preventative and also know some quick fixes just in case you run into any of these issues.
All right, so that is everything that we've so far had to fix inside our 3610. Hopefully this was helpful. If it was, go ahead and subscribe to our channel to follow along our journey. And if you haven't already, join our Time to RV group. I'll put a link below for you guys to get into that. We do giveaways and fun things all the time in there, and there's other like-minded people in there who are either trying to learn about RVing or have been RVing, and you can learn some things in there. So go ahead and join that. We'll see you inside, and we'll see you in the next video.